I like it. All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of AI plus Data Mastery, where we explore how AI and data are reshaping B2B businesses. Quick thank you to our two sponsors, Data Accelerator and Evolve with AI. You two allow us to, continue to do this and meet cool people like Luke. I'll introduce you in 2 seconds. I'm the host, Jason Reno, and without further ado, we have Luke Rexing with T-Rex Cookies. Welcome to the show, Luke.
Pleasure thanks for having me.
Yeah, so excited. One, because I love cookies. I got a gigantic sweet tooth. Anybody that knows me, my kids joke about it. It's like, we're driving home from dinner and it's like, hey, kids, you want dessert? Are you sure it's not out of the way? Cookies, ice cream, anything. But then two, I'm more excited about how you guys have grown the business within that, like we were talking about in the pre-call, within that type of retail space. How are you getting into establishing those wholesale relationships with other businesses, getting your foot in the door. And, it's not exactly like e-com where you can sell something with the click of the mouse. You have to get in and build those relationships. So I'm curious to kind of dive in and learn how you guys have done that or continuing to do that and what that looks like moving into the future.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot to cover there. We can certainly get into all the different strategies. We're a pretty lean team here, based out of Minnesota. So,
I was gonna say first, real quick, tell us about Tina, your mom, who founded the company, and give us a quick story leading up until now.
For sure, it's a pretty fun story. So, and I've been involved with the business pretty much since inception, given that but 10 years ago, Tina Rexing, my mom, quit her job in corporate America in pursuit of creating her own cookie company. So, kind of to back it up a little bit, she was a competitive state fair baker. So I don't know if you know anything about the Minnesota State Fair, but it's one of the biggest state fairs, if not the biggest. I think we compete with Austin now, but very competitive, very big. Sweet Martha's Cookies is, probably a nationwide name at this point. But she would compete at those state fairs, making breads, scones, cookies, of course, and all of these different baked goods, and test them on her coworkers. At Target where she worked, and they would always be like, oh, these are so amazing, you should do this for a living. So eventually she took their advice, quit her job on her birthday 10 years ago, and here we are. We have a few locations. We have a shop here in Eagan, and then we're also at the MSP Airport, where we're in Concourse C for Cookie. So
like a shop, like a dedicated bakery cookie shop.
Yeah, it's a kiosk. So we don't bake there, but all of the production happens here in Eagan, which is just behind me through this wall. But yeah, it's been 10 years where I've kind of been on and off. I did a little bit of work with her doing farmers markets and just small pop-ups and stuff like that. Went to college, got a marketing degree from Carlson School of Management here at the University of Minnesota, and just graduated. And now I'm here full-time doing marketing and sales. So
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, let's dive right in there. Now, college to head of marketing and sales. I know you mentioned, working on developing SOPs and all that type of fun stuff. What are you currently doing? Let's start with that. What are you currently doing, or what has currently been done to establish those initial relationships outside of just those kiosks? I know we had talked about pre-show, getting into other retail locations and trying to expand into a few different avenues. What does that look like up until now? And then we can kind of get into possibly what it's going to look like in the future.
Sure. So a lot of it has been very organic growth. So if you check us out on social media, at T-Rex Cookie, either Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we grew everything pretty much organically. So we haven't done any paid ads. We haven't, paid for followers, done any of that. It's all been organic, word of mouth, through connections that my mom had in corporate, or newer connections we've made since then, and it's all been pretty much word of mouth and just straight up having conversations, sending emails, making calls, and that's pretty much how we've done things up until now.
41,000 followers.
Yes. Yep.
That's pretty. I wasn't answering an email or anything. I was looking up. I hadn't followed you yet, but I just followed you. So T-Rex Cookie on Instagram, 41,000 followers. Sorry to cut you off, but that's impressive.
Yeah, so part of my job, we all kind of wear multiple hats here. We have 6 full-time employees, so pretty lean team. But
That's with the bakers.
yes, with the bakers, we have some part-time employees, like high school kids who work the front of the shop. So
Gotcha.
part-time as well, but 6 full-time, and that includes bakery production, operations managers, and then of course my mom. But yeah, it's all been very analog, I'll say. So now that I'm on the team, I think there's been a little bit of a change of culture in terms of digital adoption and our digital strategy moving forward, and that's what I'm really excited about. And as far as scaling the company, I think those are some levers that we can pull on to really make this something that everyone can get a hold of.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a good cookie, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and they're huge, size of your face.
You had mentioned what type of flavors? Is there set flavors? Is it constantly changing?
Yeah, so we have 8 staple flavors. So, we have our best seller, the sea salt caramel chocolate chip. Of course, we have a chocolate chip.
Ooh.
And then there's, sugar, snickerdoodle, monster, a few others in the staple range. So we have those 8 main flavors. And then here at our Egan location, we have 16 total flavors, including those 8, where 8 of them are constantly changing, and we're just experimenting.
Gotcha.
So
See,
that's
see, see what
where,
the see what the public
yeah,
likes.
exactly. So we're kind of experimenting all the time with flavors, seeing what our followers would like us to make, and just honestly, just experimenting with a ton of different stuff. Like recently, we were at a Bloody Mary festival, and one of our feature cookies for that festival was the dill pickle cookie.
I
So
was just thinking like maybe a pickle cookie or something to go with the.
exactly, yeah. So we experiment. We've made some weird flavors in the past. Thanksgiving dinner.
How did
Uh,
it turn out? How was it received?
I think our followers they've kind of understood us to be a little bit more of that experimental brand. So it does work. Not all of them are amazing in terms of like,
You got to have some like snickerdoodles or something close by though. They're like, oh, you don't
yeah,
like the pickle? Don't worry. Here's what we're
exactly
really known for. Like, you
right. The
know,
sea salt caramel chocolate chip, that's our number one. So
that
we
sounds
do
like
have that as a safe backup. But
yes,
yeah,
please.
yeah. So we like to experiment.
Nice. So let's take a step back to what we were mentioning before. How are you said organic growth, but like a little more specifically, what are you doing if there's a grocery store, if there's an avenue, a channel that you're trying to get into? What are you doing to, I guess, even just start that relationship?
Right. Yeah. So as far as how we've gotten into grocery, how we've gotten into wholesale accounts, or places like the U.S. Bank Stadium, a lot of that has been just jumping on some of the opportunities that present themselves, like literally just having a conversation with someone when they bring up an idea or something, or they're in a realm, and we just kind of follow the breadcrumb trail to where it ends up. So. I think a lot of it has just been having a call, making connections, LinkedIn maybe, but a large majority of it is personal connections that we've made with people throughout the community. So I'm pretty good friends with some of the people at Twin Cities Live, which is a local news station, Channel 5. So, like connections like that, where they happen to know somebody who knows somebody, and they put us in contact, and we just have a
Gotcha.
conversation. So, yeah, pretty
Yes.
old school business.
So then, with that in mind, then where do obviously the handshake method, there's severe limitations to scaling. So where do you see it going from here in terms of, heading into 2026? Are you going to just take that slow and steady approach, which, no harm, no foul? Are you looking to scale more e-com, scale more wholesale, kind of,
Yes.
what are the thoughts moving forward?
Yeah. So this is where it gets kind of fun. So, um, right now, what I'm currently working on is our website. So I see our website as kind of the fundamental aspect of our business, where if people want to know about us and learn about us, they can go to our social media. But if they want to buy cookies, learn about our story a little bit more in depth, the website is where all of that information is going to be found. So I am working on overhauling our website. We're switching over from WooCommerce and WordPress to Shopify. So this is a conversation actually that I'm having tomorrow. So hopefully gonna get that rolling. Nothing is fully built yet. I've built a wireframe, and I have some ideas on how order flow is gonna go. But getting that fundamental piece of the business really down and having checkout flow be seamless, all of that kind of provides this strong base layer that we can then build on top of for things like advertising, e-commerce, getting onto places like TikTok Shop, setting up an Instagram shop, and really being able to utilize all of those other digital platforms. Because right now, if we're going to be trying to drive conversion and actual sales through our following, we need to have somewhere where people can go and find exactly what they need. And right now our current website just isn't delivering that. So starting with Shopify, and then wholesale is actually a big part of that as well. So all of our wholesale accounts, for the most part, like we're partners with a lot of breweries around the cities here. And so we're on the shelf at breweries, on the shelf at golf courses, and other fun event center type places. And all of them place their orders through our website as well. So Shopify is going to be a really big improvement for us, not only just for the cleaner order and cleaner checkout flow, but also integrating many other parts of our business. So, integrating with QuickBooks, and then we're going to start using a CRM. We haven't really used a CRM. It's all been pretty manual. Google Sheets, pretty much.
Hey, you're not. I mean, at least you got a Google Sheets going. You're not writing it down somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still using pen and paper for some notes every now and then, but so integrating a CRM and kind of just streamlining efficiency across, all of our digital platforms, I think is going to be difficult to set up for sure. There's going to be a lot of bumps along the way and things that I'm going to have to learn. But I'm very interested in that side of the business. So I think learning about it is also in my best interest.
Yeah, for sure. Because then, I mean, obviously, learning about it, and you even mentioned that. I don't know if it was when the call started before, but part of what you've been doing is developing the SOPs. So, kind of learning about it, doing it, getting through that learning curve, that failure curve, figuring out what works, developing the SOPs. So, as you guys grow and scale, then it's just, hey, here's what you need to do. Here's your role. Here's exactly what you need to do. And, I know it works because I've been doing it myself, for the last 6 months or year, whatever it is, but then
So
you can obviously, train and implement it accordingly.
Right, exactly. And to kind of answer a little bit more of your question regarding like the actual process of acquiring customers, like specifically wholesale customers, like I said, it has been pretty analog, but I do want to utilize things like HubSpot, where it's like, okay, here is your cold leads. And I've developed this list of leads through just research or recommendations from our customers, things like that. And then we can move them into a bucket of like, okay, now I've reached out to them and now I've booked a call with them. And now they've set up their account on our Shopify website and then they've closed a deal. Then we can move them into, a newer bucket where now it's about following up with them on a consistent basis and making sure that they're actually getting what they need. And so some of that is going to be manual, of course, but also looking into automation is something that I'm really interested in. So Shopify has Shopify Flow, which I have a very low resolution understanding of right now, but I can see how it can be very beneficial using things like Klaviyo, and getting like an action flow where it's like, okay, this person placed an order, prompt them now to sign up for our loyalty program. And then once they signed up, get them a discount, and automating that process. So we're not just kind of taking notes and trying to understand all of our customers.
Oh yeah, but the 100% of that process can be automated once they click the automation, the cross sell, the upsell, the taking them, they buy one cookie. Now I'd say, well, what about this other type of cookie? What about now, obviously there's a variety of things you can do, but yes, that's, you're on the right path. You're thinking the right way. And that's for sure how, you need to maximize every impression, every click, every purchase, every customer, so to speak. How do you not only maximize the sale, but at the same time maximizing that customer experience? So then, when they're at an event or something, or the following day when they're at their kid's baseball game and they break out that T-Rex cookie, they're like, you got to order this thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, at the base of it all, it's. I just want everyone to be able to try our cookies and enjoy them either by themselves or with their family, because I think we have a great product, and it's not like one of those. It's not like gluten-free, keto, vegan. Like it's none of that. It's a real cookie. Like if you want dessert, just eat dessert. So that's kind of how I see us, and I love our cookies. The monster cookie is my favorite, and so I just want as many people to have that experience and make sure that we can actually follow up with them consistently and making sure that we are representing ourselves well and getting them exactly what they need, whether it's for a birthday or whatever, a Tuesday night. So
Is the monster cookie like, does that have a little bit of everything in it?
yeah, so Monster is peanut butter, oatmeal, chocolate chips, and M&Ms. So I'm a
Yes,
I'm a
sir.
peanut butter chocolate connoisseur along with my dad. So
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, you and me both. Throw a
Yeah.
banana in there, and you have my perfect shake:
Oh yeah.
chocolate peanut butter banana shake. Man, I could.
Oh yeah. I had one of those
I
this
was.
morning.
Yeah, exactly. When I do my protein shakes, it's chocolate, peanut butter, and protein, and I could drink
Oh
that all
yeah.
day long.
Yeah, you could throw a
Um,
cookie in there. Add some
what's
extra.
that?
If you're bulking, you could throw a cookie in there too for some texture.
I'm 45, dude. I'm going the opposite of bulking. I'm trying to debulk, if you know what I mean.
Fair, fair, fair. It's only one cookie though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
but no, trust me, I have the sweet tooth. I just got to time those sweet tooth moments correctly
for sure.
as you get older.
For sure.
Well, cool. Anything? Where do you? So I mean, I think everything that you mentioned, and I know it's probably for somebody trying to do it themselves and been there, starting businesses from scratch, and not that you're solo, but you're solo in the sense of you are the marketing department where you're doing everything, for the most part from that type of standpoint. But you're definitely on the right track. I mean, everything can be automated, maximizing that experience. If you don't like the website, getting into Shopify and then working on, um, again, just maximizing that customer experience and maximizing the value of each client. Because especially in your business, if you're that resale or that, no, I don't want to say resale, repeat customer
Mm.
is what's going to be huge. Hooking them in that first time, staying in front of them. When they order, if their birthday comes in, hey, it's your birthday here, order now and get a free cookie. If you order another cookie, like all that type of stuff, engaging with them is what's going to, build those clients for life, especially for a business like this.
For sure. Yeah, that's the goal.
Perfect. What else? Anything else that you've, what are some of the, I guess that I don't want to say hiccups, but maybe what are some of the hurdles that you foresee outside of the obvious of competition? You're not the only cookie company in the country, but what are some of the hurdles that you foresee?
It's a good question. I think there's certainly a lot of them, and I think the biggest ones are going to be the ones that I can't tell you about. Like I don't know.
Fair
The
enough.
ones that I don't know about, of course, are going to be the ones that hit the hardest. So I guess we'll see.
Because
Um,
you don't see them coming.
yeah, yeah, and I think one of the things about the culture of our company here and what I'm really proud of and excited to get going for is just our ability as a company to be pretty flexible and understand like bad things are going to come, and let's just tackle it head on and get through it or under it or around it or whatever. So I think technically speaking, I think one of the biggest things is going to be cost. Just integrating with all of these tools is expensive. Making the move to Shopify is expensive. Utilizing different AI tools can be expensive if you're not using, the free version. And I'm trying to optimize exactly what we're paying for. We actually just got ChatGPT for Business, so that is one of the things, one of the platforms that I've been using, and it's fantastic. I mean, we're not doing rocket science here, so as far as cookie sales go, like I can ask it to do research on the industry and tell me everything about, the most recent data regarding cookies, biscuits, whatever that industry is. So, I think cost is definitely a hurdle, especially for a small business like ours. Um, we'd like to not be a small business someday and like to get our cookies in the hands of everyone, but we are in that kind of awkward phase where, everything seems expensive, but if you go for the cheap option, you get what you pay for. So um, that's certainly a hurdle for a business of our size. Let's see, what else could be a difficult challenge. I think another one is just, we kind of talked about this before the meeting. Everyone using AI in our company, and I saw that you had a video. I didn't watch the full thing, but eliminating fear of AI, and I think that is something that we're slowly working on. So I'll mention it here, where essentially Tina, my mom, has made it a weekly part of everyone, all of our full-time employees. They have to give an update of one place where they've used AI in their lives, whether it's for the business or not, and just to get used to it, because it's certainly not going away. So
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that, to bring up that other episode, the main, which I love that your mom is implementing this, because one of the main messages in that episode was that communication is what eliminates that fear. So instead of your mom saying, "Hey, I'm looking into some AI stuff," it's, "Hey, you go help me look into some AI stuff, be part of it. I'm not looking to get rid of you, but if we can utilize AI and I can get more out of the team that we have, it just helps the business, helps keep everybody's job secure." So it's not necessarily a job elimination, it's a production increase tool. And but I love that your mom started, that it started at the top, where it's like, "Hey, report back to me once a week." And yeah, next thing you know, now she needs to kick it up to once a day. How can you use it on a daily basis, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm well into that. I mean, I'm using it for everything. So not to stop thinking. I guess this is another thing I kind of want to hit on today. Is I've had this pushback on AI, not from our employees, but just conversations that I've had with people, where people say, "Oh, people are using AI not to think," and like people will just use it so they don't have to make decisions. And I want to counter that, because I certainly don't use it that way. At least I don't think I am. So I'm using it to actually think faster. Like I can put down my thoughts.
Make more informed decisions, right? I
Exactly.
got, like, it's funny, we were just talking about, I shot another episode before this, and we were talking about this, how you can make more informed decisions faster. And then even from a standpoint of, like, this is all about the show's all about B2B sales, but you have sales guys going in and talking to, say, a VP going after this, $100,000 million contract, whatever it is. You within seconds, you can know everything about that VP. You can know, everything, scan his LinkedIn profile, scan the website, scan his freaking high school yearbook, everything, right?
Yeah,
And then you can know everything about that company. So what normally would have taken you, say, 30 to 60 minutes in research about that prospective prospect or client or lead, whatever you want to call it, you can get done in 3 to 6 seconds, and now go into it well informed. What are those clients? What is that business's wants and needs and pain points, and that type of stuff. Where, yeah, from a research standpoint, I agree with you. Where it's, could you use it to think for you in certain circumstances? Yes, but then, frankly, are you a person that believes everything that you hear to a certain extent, right? It's like, take the information and make a better decision. It's
yeah,
what
exactly.
everybody should be doing.
Exactly. Yeah. I think
Good point. Very good point.
that is something that I've heard a lot from people, and I'm like, well, like maybe I think a big part of it too is prompt engineering, and like, because people put in like 4-word prompts, and I'm like, well, of course you're getting a bad answer. Like, you need to be using the magic prompt formula, or like I'm typing paragraphs as my prompt.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That's a couple of my employees, where it's like, well, send me the prompt that you use. And it's like, oh, well, give me this. And I was just like, no, it's just who first you got to tell AI who it is. You're a 30-year veteran with 20 with you're a 30-year veteran with over $1 billion sold with marketing and sales expertise, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You've learned from the best, so on and so forth, and you have expertise in this niche. Now give me that email script. Now give me those ad headlines or whatever the case is. Exactly. But yeah, you got to prompt it out correctly. You got to set the tone, set the expectations. But yes, the whole 4-word prompt. What is, and obviously in some cases, like what is this? That type of stuff is fine. But if you're looking to use it for marketing, social media posts, anything like kind of worthwhile, so to speak, that is going to be publicly facing. You want to. It's just like anything. You're going to get into it what you put out of it. If you throw in a quick half-ass prompt, you're going to get a quick half-ass answer, right?
Okay,
Literally spend 5 minutes or less and type up a quick paragraph detailing what you want, and you're going to get such a better result. And then what most people don't realize too is the first result isn't the end result. Nowadays, it gives you suggestions. It asks you what else you want. But if you don't absolutely love it, like, hey, I like this, but let's put this spin on it. Or, from a marketing standpoint, in some cases, it's like, hey, this is good, but let's make it a little more bold. Let's make it a little more punchy and funny. You can literally sit there and talk to it and tweak it. And somebody asked me the other day, do you say please and thank you to and so do I. That's funny. So do I.
Just in case, I got to cover my bases.
Yeah, and I'm not like overly please, thank you, please, thank you, but it's like, oh yeah, thank you, that's helpful, please do that. And it's just like, I also though think I've raised my kids this way. My pet peeve is people that don't use please and thank you, because I think it's like the two easiest words to use in the English language to kind of like show respect. Like if I sit down at lunch with somebody and the waitress comes up and orders and it's just like, give me this, and I'm like, just say freaking please and thank you. It's not that freaking hard,
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
In all cases. But anyways, so I say please and thank you to AI too. So you're not alone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, cool. This has been cool. I talked to businesses in all shapes and forms. It's mostly like manufacturing or software. So the cookie conversation was good. I'll have to jump online and order some cookies when I get back in town here. And my kids, and obviously, everybody in my family has a big sweet tooth, so it should be a big hit. And then if anybody that's listening, or everybody that's listening, I should say, trexcookie.com, jump on and place your order. Or if you happen to be in the local Eagan area, stop by the shop. And then one last question. Just graduated college, you had mentioned, working for the business. What is God, you're such a young buck. What is no disrespect, but what is your favorite book so far that's kind of inspired you outside of required reading in college?
So are you asking about like a book that I read in college or something now?
Sure. I guess I'm not talking like some textbook or something, but like, what's the favorite book that you've read that has steered your path into business, entrepreneurship, or just like a book that you'd recommend to somebody listening?
Well, that's a great question. I'm going to name a few. So first, as far as business goes, I like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, classic. Richest Man in Babylon, also classic. Just personal finance kind of stuff.
Not quite as popular anymore, but still really good.
Yeah, that's a great book. And then actually, I wanted to mention a book as well, because I've been reading this. Alex Hormozi. So not sure if you've seen this book,
of course.
But I have taken a lot of inspiration from Alex Hormozi as far as the way that he approaches business. I really like how it's straight to the point, but it's also personable. And, that's what he does is buys businesses to scale them. And that's exactly what we're trying to do right now. So I think I would just recommend to anyone, whether or not you actually buy this book or not, just to check out some of his content if you haven't already, because it is truly phenomenal. I think there's a lot of online gurus who are, proclaiming all of this business knowledge, but I'm deep in the Alex Hormozi rabbit hole, and I think I've just learned so much, and just over the course of the last few months. So,
I know you're reading the book, but have you listened to his podcast and stuff?
Oh yeah,
it's like podcast YouTube channel.
Yep, YouTube. I'm a huge YouTube guy. I say this to my parents, and I had a great education. I loved college, and the professors that I've had were amazing. But frankly, I've learned probably like 80% or more of the things that I talk about in relationship to business or just my daily life. Like I've learned through YouTube, which is free. So it's pretty incredible. I mean, the amount of stuff that and the content that people create, like you. So I think YouTube and Alex Hormozy are my recommendations.
There you go. Honestly, solid recommendations. I definitely follow and engage with Hormozy's content as well. They put some great stuff out there. Another one that I've really liked recently that you should check out, search Dan Martell. I don't know if
Dan
you've seen
Martell.
Yeah.
All right.
He's real into like businesses, AI, scaling, entrepreneurship. But I don't know why I resonate with his content as well.
Yeah, sounds good. I've just made a note. I'll definitely be watching some of that to go to bed tonight and learn some more.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here, Luke. I appreciate your time and possibly having you on the show. Looking forward to kind of keeping track. I followed you on Instagram, so make sure everybody follow, visit the website, order a cookie, and look forward to connecting with you again soon. And really appreciate your time again. So take care. And sorry, go for it.
I was just going to say thank you, Jason, for having me.
Of course. So everybody, signing off here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow T-Rex Cookies, and tune in soon for the next episode. Take care, everyone.